Guys, it's Hiro here. I'm going to give you a demonstration of what it would be like to be in one of my Pilates classes on the mat. Alright, so let's come to our back, start lying down. You can take your hands beneath your knees and take your chin to your throat as you round your spine here. As you take your back of your head onto the floor, start to place the soles of your feet on the ground. Place your thumbs underneath your floating ribs and take your pinky fingers around your front of your outer hip bones. And as you take this connection here with your thumbs and your pinkies, begin to tilt your pelvis forward and back. Just getting a sense of that there as you move the bowl of your pelvis. You'll notice as you lengthen your tailbone towards your heels, you have a flattening or an imprinting of the spine. And when you tip the pelvis forward, you notice a lifting of the lower back, anchoring of the tailbone more so. And we refer to this as the anterior frontward and the posterior backward tilt of the pelvis. And so our goal in Pilates is for us to find this neutral spine through a neutral pelvis. So we want to find not fully forward and not fully back. So how do we find that? Well, we find the first point of contact, which is the waist bone and our sacrum. So push down a little bit into that. And then keeping that, take your hands back towards your four corners and inhale wide into your abdomen. And on the exhale, breathe out your nose and feel the belly pull into the spine. Next, take your hands onto your upper ribs and take your thumbs around and towards the back of your kidneys and your lungs. Inhale into the back of your thumbs here. Inhale again. And exhale through your nose. Push a little bit into the base of your skull, so the back of the neck, the cervical spine, has a little lift. This is a concave or a lower dotted curve. Inhale. Exhale, take your hands onto the front of your sternum, at your breastbone, and then start to squeeze and melt your chest down, your ribs in towards your heart. Inhale, feel the breastbone lift. Ribs expand wide and lateral, posterior lateral breath. And exhale, take the chest a little bit more down, melting your ribs down towards the floor, feeling your pelvic floor, the space between your sits bones engaged in and up. Inhale, breathe wide and up like a basin. And then as you fill that up, you exhale up the nose. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we want to keep that sense of even breath back into the ribs and the lungs. Counts of 5 in, counts of 5 out. Take one more to set that out. Lovely. Take your hands beneath your knees. Look between the space of your thighs as you take your toes and spread them wide. As you spread your toes wide, slowly point your toes forward and find a slight pointing of the feet, but not a full point. Kind of like halfway, so a demi-point. Take your chin into your throat, hug your knees slightly in, the hips width apart parallel, and then take your hands beneath your head around the back of your neck. The thumbs can be more relaxed. And then pull back on the nape of your neck so your neck stays engaged and long chin to throat. Okay, inhale. Exhale, belly in, ribs draw down and lift your chest off the ground just a little bit here and hold for 5. Breathe into the back body. And exhale, lower down. Pause, inhale. Exert on the exhale through the nose, lift. Inhale, hold, and exhale, lower. So we inhale to prepare and exhale to execute. Fantastic. From here, take your hands around the front of your right shin. You can rest your head on the ground if that's easier. Take your left foot down towards your mat and extend your right leg straight up to the ceiling with your toes slightly pointed forward. Take your hands behind your hamstring and breathe in. And exhale, take your right knee towards your chest, lower down to the toes, and then the heel, ball to heel. Do the same now for your left knee. Inhale, left knee to the chest. Exhale, straighten the leg up, point the toes. Feel that extension through the leg, through the hip. And exhale, knee to chest and lower down. So we'll take that extension into a little flow. So take your hands behind your head, inhale, chin the throat, ribs in, firm the pelvic floor in and up, and then inhale, reach your right leg up. Keep your pelvis also neutral. Yeah. And then inhale, exhale, lower your right leg down. Inhale up from the hip and down. Yeah. Let's do 2 more. Keep the right leg up, and then slowly start to draw a big circle, a little circle onto the ceiling with your big toe. So inhale and exhale, leg circles. Inhale down, exhale complete. Inhale, exhale for 3, 2, and 1. Hug the right knee to your chest, give yourself a little relief. And exhale, exhale, left leg comes up, point the toes, breathe in. And exhale, 5 lowers, and lift. Lower, and lift. So this can be considered more of a accessible variation. You can also lift your chest off the ground and find that the ribs drawing more in towards the back of the body, contracting the abdominals in and up. This will add a little bit more difficulty from there. Alright, and that's enough there. So from there, point your toes, and we'll find those 5 circles. So inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last 2. And 1. Beauty. Take both legs up. Now we'll do both legs together. So touch the big toes together. Feel the inner lines of your legs begin to feel a little more connected. And then once you roll the inner thighs more in, pull your thigh bones down into your hip sockets and feel your pelvis root down more to the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, lower both legs down a little bit. Feel the contraction in and up through your hips and your thighs. And continue lowering down for 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep the wrist pulled down for 1. Inhale up. Exhale, lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale up. Exhale, hug your knees into your chest, wrap into a little ball. And we'll roll like a ball. So hands can come underneath your knees, have your feet tabletop, hips width apart, and spread your toes wide and point slightly forward. Chin in the throat, nice C shape in the back, inhale. And then exhale, contract and lift up and try to hold. Lift up, look up. And exhale, chin in the throat and roll back, 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale, exhale, lift up. Rolling like a ball. When you're rolling back, keep your gaze in. Try not to go any higher than the base of your neck so you don't injure the neck or the head. Nice, and then come up and stay there. Take your palms facing up, take your big toes to touch. And inhale, option here, you can stay here. This is a mini teaser, similar like boat pose from Navasana in yoga. You can take your hands beneath your knees to modify so you have more support. And you can also point your toes down to the ground, or even take the full soles of the feet down to the ground and hang out here and chill out. Now I've got a handy foam block here. You can also take the block between your thighs, and so when you have the block between your thighs, it gives you more connection into the inner thighs and anchoring your hip bones down, your femur bones into your hip socket. Okay, so from here, go ahead and then bring your arms back, lift your arms up, legs up, and then you'll notice that connection is really getting a bit more strength and tone into your inner thighs. Pull your belly in, roll your shoulders back, continue lifting up, spread your collarbones wide. Inhale, flip the arms all the way up. Exhale, bring them back. Inhale, arms in and up. And out wide. Often here to lower your legs and straighten the legs up. Increase as much as you can with the loading of the levers of your hips and shoulders. And in. And out. Last one. And out. Hug your knees in, round forward and forward. We'll take a little stretch here. So take your hands behind you, palms facing towards your bum and your heels. Roll your shoulders back and elbows in. Press down actively with your feet. Breathe in. Chin throat. Exhale, scooping your pelvis forward. Lift up into a reverse tabletop so you feel the stretch go across your chest. Shoulders roll back and down so you lift and open through the collarbones, and you'll feel perhaps a stretch to your arms as well here. One more breath. And exhale, lower down. Take your soles of your feet together and come into a butterfly pose. So you start to release through the inner thighs. Taking a few breaths there. Really focusing on finding a calmness in the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and the digest responses of the brain. One that is able to help us reduce any anxiety or stress in the body that might be more jacked or charged. Really focus on the width and the lateral breathing across your ribs and your spine. Inhale, roll yourself up. Just letting your knees tip to either side to release any tension in your pelvis, your low back, anything that may have rose. And then we'll just take a little torso twist. So you would take your hands in line with your heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, root down through your sit bones. Inhale to your right. Exhale, center. Inhale, left. And center. Right. Center. Left. And center. Good. Inhale, come to the right. And inhale, left. To the right. To the center, last one. Bring the arms up. And exhale, hand and fold. One up. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome one. And that's a little bit of Mat Pilates with me. See you on that.